It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, what's up? You ready?
Oh, George, there you go. And you ready again? Yes, I am. I'm ready, George. Okay.
What you got for us?
It's been an interesting week. In some ways, I feel like it's deja vu.
All over again.
Okay, all over again. Okay. Because we have again had the Federal Reserve and the chairman, Powell, go ahead and give us the prognostication or the prediction or the good word. I don't know how you want to call it this time, but to talk to us again about what's happening with the economy and what's happening concerning interest rates and most of all, inflation.
Yes.
For those of you who have some extra time, you may want to go out and read the actual transcript. One of the things that's nice when the transcript is published is that the way they publish the transcript is that from each different quarter, as the transcript comes out, it's marked up so that you can see what has changed very easily because it's red marked, so you can follow through. This is what they said last time. This is what they said this time. And what's amazing is sometimes it's just one word that may be changed in a paragraph that totally changes the direction. But in this case, when we look at the transcript, one of the things that we see here is that the word confidence is emphasized over and over again, and that they do not have the confidence at this point in time to make changes to anything related to interest rates because they have not seen a confidence or start to feel a confidence in the fact that what has already been done is going to be either enough or too little. It's almost like we're sitting in this negative type of Goldilocks position. So what has happened is that basically
Wait, hold up. Goldilocks?
Yes,
What you mean
Goldilocks. Okay.
Okay, Vicki,
Yes.
explain, please.
Okay. All right. I forgot my bell. I keep forgetting to bring that
Yeah,
bell.
Val, let's go.
But when I say Goldilocks, what I mean is that the porridge is too hot or too cold.
Okay,
It's basically
got you. All right.
we're in a stalemate type of position where we don't have full recognition of a particular direction so that they can make a choice whether or not to increase interest rates or lower interest rates. So we are now, again, for the third meeting in a row, with a decision to do nothing, to change nothing at this point in time. But here's something they also said.
Oh, before you say what they said, just to reiterate, they said they're not going to do anything because of concerns about inflation.
No, not concerns. They don't have confidence of a direction yet.
Okay.
Okay, meaning that they don't see enough in the data to make them fully confident that we're moving in one direction or another.
Or the other. Okay.
Exactly.
All right,
that's why I call it a Goldilocks. It's not too hot, not too cold. We're just right here in a position where they don't have the confidence to see the direction that is starting to move them into a decision. But here's the other thing that they said that was important. And that is, we don't have this have confidence, and because of that, a change, particularly a change that might dictate a lowering of interest rate, is now further out into the horizon. It's going to take longer for that change to take place. So that's why I told you last week, if you remember, George, I said, stop and do what? Look at your rates that are taking place on your cash.
Right.
Pay attention that if you have a lot of idle or excess or surplus cash sitting around, that you take time to examine what you are receiving as far as an interest rate on that cash. And if it's down in the less than 1%, or even 1%, or even 1.5% now, you could probably, even within just your own bank, if you turn the page and look through all of the offers that are there, end up with a much higher rate, anywhere from the 4 to 5% range on many of the 8-month, 12-month, 14-month CDs, or even if you didn't want to lock it up, into money market rates. But I got a question from someone who said, well, if my bank doesn't have anything to offer, how would I find out other avenues? Here you go. One, you can call me. Area code 315-930-4499, 315-930-4499. Got all kinds of banking products that are available. Or you can go to a site like bankrate.com, which will tell you about things across the country. The key is FDIC insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you want to look for, FDIC, to make sure that your funds are fully
And that's
insured and protected.
up to
Yes,
250,000, correct?
up to $250,000. That is correct. Okay. And there are ways actually, because there are ways to actually get it above $250,000 if you know how to do bundling, etc. That's one of the things we specialize in. It's how to bundle so that you can get above the $250,000 level through some of the structures that are available with many of the banks across the country. Now, George.
Now.
Here's something though that I know probably didn't hit the pages or hit the radar for everyone, and I'm going to try my best to explain this in a very logical way. But we have to do some history here, a little bit of history. As you know, many of the HBCUs across the country were formed under what's called a land bank system. Land bank systems are across the country for state universities and for HBCUs. I learned something this week that I was absolutely shocked by, and that is that Tennessee State University, and if there are any alumni out there, I hope you stop and listen to me carefully here, that Tennessee State University, along with many of the HBCUs across the country, have been shortchanged in the allocation that they were supposed to receive from the federal government by their state governments. But in particular right now, who's in the news is Tennessee State University, because the state of Tennessee is refusing to release to them the 2.1, listen to this, George, $2.1 billion that's owed to them through the federal government, who actually sent the money to the state for them to send to Tennessee State University, because they sent an allocation for both the University of Tennessee and Tennessee State University. And that's what happens across the country. Well, rather than actually release that money, once Tennessee State started to insist on getting the funds that were overdue and owed to them, by the way, it's not just 1 year allocation, that's over several years. The state of Tennessee has decided, the governor and the legislature, to vote last week to disband the entire board of Tennessee State University. So that means that the president, Dr. Glenda Glover, is now exposed with no board that is there to support her, because they're going to appoint their own board to run the university. So what can we do about this?
Yeah, what can we do about it?
I'm not exactly sure. But what I am sure of is this. If you're an alumni and you graduated from Tennessee State University, you need to be on the phone with every newscaster, every state legislator, everyone, anything to make sure that this story does not die. Yes,
how about this? Isn't Dr. Glenda Glover...
Oh, the AKAs are going to be all over.
Okay, I just want to call it out. But let's call it out and say what it is.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Glenda Glover, the former national president
of Alpha Kappa Alpha.
So, Soros, okay? Yes. Y'all need to be calling.
All right, the Soros are going to be calling, okay? But we also need every one of the alumni. We need everybody. Because
all right, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
Put the AKAs on it, though.
Oh, okay. What is it? Okay, stroll to the polls.
Stroll to the polls.
Okay, because this is, first of all, in protection of Dr. Glover, but more so, when I looked at the rest of the story, George, there's about $13 billion right now.
Right.
$13 billion owed to HBCUs, where we have state departments of education across the country holding back funding that was sent to them by the federal government because of the allocation formulas that are part of the funding for all of these land bank institutions. What do we talk about money all the time? When you
That's right.
don't, when you have systems that cause problems that are holding back economic wealth, and then you want to say that the institutions are not performing at the level that they should be, when you're holding back $13 billion, what else do you expect?
Yeah.
So this is news that I hope everyone will follow up on. Get out, okay, and get everybody that you know, okay, on to this. But we need to make some type of effort to hold people accountable for this funding. All
Vicki,
right.
speaking of
Yes.
holding people accountable, guess what I did this week?
What?
I
Oh, did you do it,
I
George?
did. Let's talk about it. So Vicki
Okay.
challenged us to make a call to our local congressional representative and ask the question, what is your detailed plan to stabilize Social Security?
To sustain, right? Okay.
To sustain and stabilize Social Security. And so in this central New York area, our congressperson is Brandon Williams. And so here's his number in Syracuse. Ready? It's pretty simple. 315 233 4333. 315 233 4333. That's the Syracuse office. If you live in Utica or if you want to call the Washington office, you can get that number from the Syracuse office. 315 233 4333. And Syracuse can connect you to all of the other offices. Call the office and say, listen, I want to know what Congressman Williams' detailed plan is to stabilize Social Security. And you want it on the record that that's a plan that he has. And if he doesn't have a plan, you let us know that you called the office and what they said. Now, I left a message to call, Vicki, so we'll see if they
So
call.
they haven't returned your call yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay, all right.
But
then.
I'll have a report next week as to whether or not they call. So I just want
I'm
to make
waiting for
sure.
everybody to call us back also with their report as far as what
What did they
what
say?
they heard when they called. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So George, this has been a what we call a packed conversation this week. If you have any questions, be sure and call us at area code 315-930-4499. We want to make sure you also share and subscribe,
And comment.
okay, concerning this segment. And if you find that you need some additional help, be sure to reach out to Brackens Financial Solutions Network at area code 315-930-4499. Our plate is now full.
All right. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven.